You are listening to Unified Through Chronic and Mental Illness with your hosts, Angie Roberts and Kimberly Murphy. Please be advised that some of the topics of this podcast can be triggering and sensitive in nature.
Hey, Spoonies, mental health warriors, friends, and supporters. Welcome to another episode of Unified. I'm Kimberly Murphy here with Angie Roberts.
Hey, y'all.
And today we are talking about food versus mood.
Yes, a fifth of the U.S. adults report emotional eating behavior often or very often. That's quite a lot.
It is.
Yeah, and I can understand that.
I can
emotional
too.
Eating behavior.
Yeah, especially in the United States because we have an issue with eating anyways. So, right.
Unfortunately, unhealthy eating patterns can often be to blame for like mood swings, blood sugar fluctuations, and nutritional imbalances.
And we see that a lot too with the blood sugar fluctuations, which eventually turn into diabetes type 2, which we've talked about many times.
Right.
So got to keep those blood sugars even.
Exactly. And the nutritional imbalances, that's just, we need to balance our nutrition to just keep our fuel and everything going, because without steady fuel, your mind and body doesn't function well.
Right.
So skipping meals, especially breakfast, because breakfast, they say, is the most important meal of the day, can make you feel weak and tired throughout the day. So
I do want to say something and interject right here, because I know that a lot of healthy people out there are going, but Angie, there are these diets that are called like interval diets, I guess they're called, where they skipped and they do long fasts and then they go back in and, they go 16 hours or whatever without eating. And for people who are fit and who know what they're doing and know how to get nutrition properly, that is okay. But for the average person, you need to eat your breakfast.
Yes. And if you don't know if you're the average person, talk to your doctor. Your doctor will be more than happy to help you figure that out.
And if you don't know if you're the average person, you're probably the average person.
Right. Probably. Yeah.
I'm just going to say that.
You usually know if you're the healthy, fit person.
Right. Because they've done a lot of research and they learn, it's a lot to learn. So, yeah.
Right. So cutting out entire food groups can lead not only to making you feel weak and tired, but low levels of zinc, iron, B vitamins, magnesium, vitamin D, and omega-3 fatty acids, and they are associated with worsening mood and decreased energy.
Well, we know about that. And the magnesium can make your legs really hurt.
Right.
The vitamin D make you really tired.
Exhausted.
So a lot of B vitamins can do the same. So yeah, women out there, especially if you're tired all the time, you definitely want to have these checked by your doctor.
And you need your iron or you'll become anemic. So definitely don't want that. So refined carbs like bread and pasta, pastries that we love so much, can cause blood sugars to increase and then drop rapidly, which is going to cause you low energy and irritability. So
which, like, if anybody knows anybody with diabetes, I have a son with diabetes. So basically, if the blood sugar goes really high up and then it just plummets, you know that person is going to act completely differently. They're going to be irritable. They're going to feel horrible. And that's for any person. If you're constantly putting pasta or pastries or bread into your body, you're on this roller coaster ride. Your blood sugar is on a roller coaster ride. So it's going to make you moody.
Right.
So if anybody, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, a lot of times we don't pair that with the proteins that we need to help to keep our blood sugar up. But
absolutely,
that's a different story, I guess.
It's true, though. No, it is true. And that's really important. And a lot of people don't do that. So that's important as well. So yeah, people, and we're letting you all know this because a lot of people do not associate their food with their mood. And there's a direct relationship.
Absolutely. I found this interesting, that nutrition is still being studied on how it affects mental health issues, but it's showing how it can contribute to development, prevention, and management of mental health conditions such as anxiety and depression.
Right.
So I can see the anxiety because of your irritability and all that stuff where, you just keep doing it and keep doing it. So it leads to something else.
I can see how it would work for depression, because if you have vitamin D that's so incredibly low, or B vitamins that are so incredibly low. Think of Ellen Bellens, who was on one of our episodes in the first season, who had really horrible depression. And when they started giving her B vitamins, she felt so much better. So I can see how that would work. I have a feeling when they keep studying this, and I know it's kind of out, they don't have any concrete evidence that nutrition can cause mental health issues.
Right.
I think we're going to find out that maybe that's part of the factor of how mental health issues, become an issue. But,
right.
We don't know that yet. But yeah,
they definitely do not help us if we have mental health issues.
Exactly.
Right.
So. Yep. Right.
So here comes Angie's, what do I call it? Angie's scientific corner. So studies exploring diets effect on gut microbia, the organisms in your intestinal tract, the neuroplasticity, which is the brain's ability to modify structured wiring and functioning, and your oxidative stress, which is cellular damage, chronic inflammation. While science has proven that chronic low-grade inflammation, can turn into a silent killer that contributes to cardiovascular disease and cancer. So it affects all these areas, your gut, your brain, your cells, and unfortunately chronic inflammation, which I have. So I'm trying to start eating better.
Right, because chronic inflammation, we all know, leads to chronic disease. All of our chronic disease listeners out there, we did not forget you. Chronic inflammation is really important for you guys. And, the cellular damage applies to you all as well. And if I wanted to mention too, like, there's a lot of people on Facebook who talk about gut health. And a lot of them are saying, if your gut isn't healthy, like a lot of these diseases come from gut health, which is, we could do a whole podcast on that. And maybe we should find one of these people and have them on, because I think that we should do one on
leaky gut syndrome.
Definitely. Yeah.
Dr. Axe talks about this a lot. He's one of my favorite people on Facebook, Dr. Axe, AXE, like the spray. He's really great at talking about stuff and breaking it down. So if you look him up on Facebook, where your videos are, he'll have a whole bunch of videos that talk about gut health.
Yeah, I think that's definitely something we should cover in the future.
Definitely. I think so too. So you're asking, well, what can increase the ability of feel-good chemicals called serotonin, right? What can increase that? So you're asking, what can increase the ability of that feel-good chemical called serotonin? Complex carbs such as sweet potatoes, rolled oats. Oh. Oh my goodness.
That's a hard one.
Rolled oats.
I'm doing it now.
That's so funny. And beans.
This is not just serotonin, though. This is also dopamine. I did want to bring that up because.
Yes.
Right. Okay.
Yes. Omega-3s can bring up your levels. Walnuts, chia seeds, and flax seeds. Then we have proteins like fish, beef, chicken, and turkey, linked to the increased levels of dopamine and I knew I was going to mess it up. Norepinephrine plays roles. The dopamine and the I don't know why I can't say that tonight, y'all.
Yeah, I already said it. So just keep going, girl.
Yeah. So it plays roles, that Nora word, it plays roles in the mood, motivation, and concentration. Mm-hmm. So note on dopamine. Dopamine depletion can happen to anyone. It can be linked to numerous health and neurological health conditions like depression or PTSD.
Yeah.
Drugs and alcohol.
Yeah. Can make a big, drugs and alcohol can make a huge difference in your dopamine levels because it can like completely shut down.
They temporarily flood the brain. So
it'll flood the brain with dopamine until basically your dopamine is ran out, basically, if you want to put it that way.
Right.
And then you can burn out your receptors.
Right. Yes.
Drugs will do that too, obviously. So.
Yeah. And, over time, it leads to dependence to achieve the same results. And you can burn your receptors at,
it can take like 90 days to up to a year to heal those receptors. So that person's going to feel a severe depression while they're healing those receptors. And that's why people, real quick, that's why people who have addiction and who are going through, rehab or whatever, that's why it's so hard for them. This is one of the reasons. So just to let people out there know, if you have someone who is in recovery, this is one of the reasons why it's so difficult for them and why they really are so seriously depressed, severely depressed.
Yeah, it's chemical. It's not just
absolutely
no reason they're depressed. It's chemical.
Right.
Things that are shown to increase happiness are fruits and vegetables that are high in vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants.
Yeah.
The
feel goods.
Yes, we just had a wonderful salad tonight. And
we did.
Yes, and I feel so good.
I know. It's like it makes such a huge difference.
It does.
We were talking about that tonight. So I just wanted to mention some food of low nutritional value. It might give you a really quick energy boost. And this is something I talk to my child about all the time. Yes, it's going to give you a quick energy boost. It's going to ride you up that roller coaster, but it's going to leave you with low energy and mood later. It's going to give you that dive. Right. Those types of foods is like flour-based foods, like breads, crackers, baked goods, sugar, sweetened beverages, those processed foods, snacks. The food we eat and don't eat can soothe and even prevent inflammation. So those of you out there who have any kind of autoimmune disease, we don't want to be eating these foods. And you also want to be careful about red meat because red meat can also cause inflammation. You need to go on the internet and look at the inflammation diet, and it will tell you what foods to avoid if you are worried about inflammation, like lupus, for example. We have to be careful with inflammation. So
and fibromyalgia too.
Yep. So look that up. But there's, the processed foods and then the red meats. There's certain vegetables that can cause problems. So look that up and check that out. Definitely scale way back on your processed foods. Shop the outer aisles of the grocery store. Don't have the sweets. If you want sweets, have the fruit. Stay away from meats and cheeses that are processed. Don't eat those fried foods, which really sucks because I love fried food.
She doesn't want to say sugary beverages.
I already said that, but yeah.
I know. Just teasing you.
And diet beverages are just as bad, just to put it out there. Which I do drink. So she's like, I'll bust you there too.
No, that's okay because I drink regular. So.
You do want to focus on whole foods. Try to eat raw foods like fruits and vegetables, brown or wild rice, chicken and turkey breast, eggs, fish, beans, nuts, seeds, and oats. Those types of things are very good for you. Learn how to cook.
Yes.
Stay away from those processed, easy things. With air fryers, things are getting so much even more easier. Like you can have those kind of fried foods, quote unquote, that are not really fried. So that get yourself an air fryer. Try a diet proven to decrease inflammation. I just said that with the air fryer, which is amazing. And there are some diets too that are really great, which is the Mediterranean diet. My doctor's always talking to me about that, and the DASH diet. The Mediterranean diet gets attention due to the decrease of symptoms of depression. And the key components increase of vegetables and fruit, and omega-3 rich fish, nuts, beans, and olive oil. So, you think of Mediterranean as like a lot of pasta and stuff, but they don't. They have a lot of fresh vegetables and fruit, and their food is really yummy. So try it.
And it stabilizes your blood sugar.
It does. So yeah, it's really good for you.
It'll stabilize your blood sugar. So
definitely.
Which has been, it improves your mood.
And your anxiety, yeah.
Yeah.
And it takes about 2 weeks or so to show improvement. And the DASH diet is actually stands for Dietary Approaches to Stop Hypertension. So it's shown to lower your blood pressure and your inflammation. So this is good for a lot of Americans because we do have this issue. A lot of us do.
Yes.
It's a lot like the Mediterranean diet. It focuses on whole foods. It limits protein, sweets, and processed food. A lot of the kidney people too have to be careful with protein. So again, everyone out there says protein's good for you. Eat a lot of protein, eat a lot of protein. Not necessarily, guys. You have to be really careful and you have to talk to your doctor because it's not a one size fits all situation. It really depends on where you are in your health, and everyone has different needs. But anyway, the DASH diet, it does increase dairy a bit more, and it can take 3 to 6 months to show the results that you want. And then there's the raw food diet, which is the dietary practice of eating only or mostly food that is uncooked or unprocessed. The diet makes it difficult to get enough calories, protein, and certain vitamins and minerals. So some people may not be able to get enough of those calories from this diet. Weight loss, improved vitality, and increased energy, improvement to chronic diseases, improved overall health are the short-term benefits, but you really cannot stay on this diet for the long term.
Right.
And then there's the keto diet and variants of that, which I don't think we should discuss on this episode because it really needs its own podcast in order to be fully understood in a way that is not going to be harmful for someone who's not familiar with it. Because it's more than just not eating carbs. There's way more to it than that, and it can be dangerous to people who do not understand it.
Right. Yes, it can be because it can be very hard on the kidneys from what I understand.
Definitely. And then of course there's people who yo-yo diet. That's me. I've always been a yo-yo dieter. It has psychological effects that can lead to depression and lack of confidence. I can definitely attest to that. And increase your emotions.
Because you're not really, you'll see the results and then you get bigger.
And you base and you base a lot of your worth on that after a while, right. Yay, I'm skinny. Oh my God, I gained it all back. So that can lead to depression. And, also, which a lot of people don't think about, gaining all that weight back, you're gaining it back somehow. So you're likely eating all those terrible foods again.
Right.
So, yeah.
You usually gain back a little more too.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. Yeah.
I don't know why that is, but it is.
And if you're having an issue like that, talk to your doctor about getting a dietitian because they are wonderful and they can help you through emotional eating. They can help you through getting on the right kind of diet for you and really just checking in with you on a regular basis to make sure that you're staying on track.
It's always good to have somebody to talk to too. If you start a diet, maybe try to partner with somebody. It's good to have that.
Yeah, they say that if you have a partner, you have 50% more chance of being successful. I don't know the exact number, but it's up there.
Well, somebody keeps you accountable. You're not just, I'm just going to skip that tonight. And then,
right. Exactly.
You're thinking, well, if I do that, then I got to tell Kimberly that I skipped dinner or breakfast this morning.
That's why places like Weight Watchers are so successful too, because you have the support group.
Right.
Undereaters, those are great support groups for people who have trouble eating, the people that are anorexic or binge eaters. It's good for them too. And Overeaters Anonymous is also another good place. And you can find any of those places by looking it up online in your area. You can ask your doctor. They're easy to find. They're in every city, every town. So don't be afraid to look them up, because there are people that absolutely want to support you.
Definitely. And want help themselves. So they, they like to have somebody to help keep them accountable also.
Right. And I mean, we both of us know this. The more you support others, the more you're helping yourself. You're supporting yourself by supporting others. It's a give and take situation. No matter how long you've been involved in whatever subject you're involved in, whether it be overeating or, in our case, mental illness and chronic illness, helping other people helps you, and there's always something to learn. So,
absolutely.
yeah. So, yeah. So, I mean, I'm glad we covered this, because I know food is difficult for a lot of people.
It is. And a lot of people don't understand how it does affect their mood. Like I really, excuse me, I knew that it did, but I really didn't understand how much until I did this research and how much it affects your whole body. Brain and mind and body is one. So,
and a lot of people say they can't do it, but I mean, give yourself 2 weeks. Give yourself 2 weeks and just see if you feel better.
And just remember that they say that when you go on these diets, it takes a while to feel better.
The full effect, but see if 2 weeks makes you feel any better.
Right.
I bet you it will.
It will.
And what's 2 weeks out of your life of not eating ice cream? Nothing. It's nothing.
I don't know about that, but okay.
No, everybody's going, Kimberly, it's summertime. What are you talking about? But no, really, give it a try. Seriously, give it a try. Right. And if you have any questions about substitutions of different foods that you could trade, let us know. Send us an email. Look us up on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. I can't believe I said email. Nobody does email anymore.
Right.
Spotify.
On Spotify, we usually ask a question, and we could, definitely answer our question, or we'll try to put up like, what do you think you could substitute?
Right. And on Anchor, people leave us voice messages on Anchor. We'd love to help you. We have quite a bit of knowledge on this, and if we don't know the answer, we'll find somebody who does. So, and we'll put some stuff up on all our social media. We want you guys to be successful with this. This will really help those of you with mental illness and chronic illness. So let's all try to be more successful in being healthy with our food this summer. Let's make it a goal for all of us.
Yeah, it's just we all really need it as Americans.
Yes, we do, especially as Americans.
Yes. I had a friend that came from Australia to America, and she said that she could not believe our portion sizes. For one, she said they could almost share a whole plate with the family of what we serve as portion sizes.
I believe
in our restaurants. And she said she actually got sick while she was here because of the food.
Oh, wow.
What the food has in it. And, she said she wasn't eating the best, of course, too. But,
well, I can tell you that when I ate healthy, like I did try the keto diet for quite some time. And when I did go and just eat like something that was not on the diet, it did make me sick. Like,
right. Yeah.
Yeah, it is really bad. I believe it. Yeah, I'm not surprised.
I'm not surprised either. Well, I was a little surprised that she said it was that our portions were that much bigger, but I knew our portions were bigger though.
Oh, and you know what, guys? If you want to really know about our portion sizes and stuff. There is a documentary on Netflix that talks about food. There was this guy that ate nothing but McDonald's every day for, I don't remember how long, and he gained tons of weight and he got really, really sick. And he just wanted to show what the American diet is like and what the portions are like and how horrible the food is. And then he did another one after that, I think, to show just what the American diet is like. But right. I watched this guy just, oh my God, I thought he was going to die. I really thought we were watching him die. Yeah, it's terrible. Anyways, so what is the mantra for this week, Angie?
Every time you eat or drink, every time you eat or drink, you are either feeding your disease or fighting it.
That is absolutely true. You know what?
Especially if you have inflammation. And
yeah, like, could you imagine though? Even if you don't, could you imagine? Because could you imagine if everybody was raised that way to believe that?
Yeah, it would be helpful.
There'd be a lot more people who don't have disease.
The whole clean your plate thing, if you guys are doing that,
stop it.
Yeah.
Because we need to learn how to listen to our bodies.
Right. It takes 30 minutes for your stomach to tell your brain that it's full. So remember that. I used to eat and then I would go watch a TV show. I would still feel really hungry. I would go watch a TV show. And before that TV show was over, I forgot about food because my brain had time to tell my stomach had time to tell my brain, hey, you're full.
Right.
So if you're a fast eater or whatever,
I truly believe though that a lot of the disease that we have in our country, because we do have more disease here than anywhere else, is because of our diets. Yeah. And that it comes from a long life of eating from a child all the way up to adulthood. Yeah. And if we teach our children to eat to fight disease from the very beginning, they have a fighting chance of not having these types of issues.
Right.
I truly believe that. So I love that mantra. Every time you eat or drink, you're either feeding a disease or you're fighting it.
Right.
So that's a good one. So we hope that you enjoyed this week's episode. And if you did get something out of it, and we hope that you did, please like, share, follow, or subscribe. All of our social media information will be announced in just a moment. Please join us again next week for a brand new episode. You don't want to miss it. Until then, thank you for listening. And please remember that we are stronger together.
Peace out, y'all.
Unified Through Chronic and Mental Illness can be found at anchor.fm/unified. There you can find all social media links as well as other ways to listen.